Episode 18. Through this first mission, you will come to understand the nature of our struggle with the primals. The realm may appear well on its way to recovery, but reality paints a far bleaker picture. The truth is out there, Komori, and I would have you discover it for yourself. Ready to begin, are we? That's the spirit. So then, your mission is to investigate a crystal robbery and a spate of abductions. Crimes which we believe to be connected. Assuming we are correct, it is like that any discoveries we make in relation to one will further our understanding of the other. Now, since the attack on their caravan, our friends at Amadina and Sons Mineral Concern have doubled security of all their shipments. In light of this, it is my judgment that the abductions should be our priority. According to our preliminary findings, the majority of the missing were last seen in the vicinity of Camp Drybone, so that would seem a fine place to begin. A fellow by the name of Isambard serves as the camp's de facto leader. Pay him a visit and see that he gives us his full cooperation. Before we leave, let's see if anyone else has anything else to say. Our organization, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, was formed through the union of two separate entities. Oh, is this just what she said before? Let's see if they say the same thing. Yes. Other than that, there are a few new, or old faces. Well, if it ain't that last from the carriage, fancy meeting you here of all places. Me. I'm just here to deliver a shipment. Now where shall I tell him to put it? So this boy has Garlean blood in him. Can't say I'm surprised. Everyone knows what happens when a city is sacked, even if the bards choose to omit that part. But our involved shouldn't be pitied. Boys like him can have a clean slate, an opportunity to write their own story, free of the ties that bind the common man. I didn't know that about our involved. They say that those of us who have seen the dream are chosen, that we have within us the seed of greatness, that we could be heroes. Even me, an Alamegan half-breed, cast out when his mother could no longer stand the sight of him. A half-breed who once took to banditry just to eat. Aye, I'm sure I'm just brimming with heroic potential. The robberies and disappearances. Yamaljar is the most likely culprit, wouldn't you agree? Then again, this is Stanalan. One cannot discount the possibility that moneyed interests are involved. Someone cleaning up? Several faces and names I don't recognize among the names and faces that I do. I'm afraid I don't know Una Tayun too well. Well, fancy that. Why don't any of these blokes know who I am? I swear I was one of them scions of the Seventh Dawn. Only we didn't have such a fancy name back then, and the headquarters was in a far more convenient location. At least I think it was. Or is me mind playing tricks on me? God, what's wrong with me? Why can't I remember it more clearly? Again, referencing 1.0 in case there was some kind of retconning. We had to remove the memories of anyone involved, I suppose. Komoy, how goes it? All's well here. At least on the bookkeeping front, anyway. And she just stands on the chair. I guess I do that too sometimes. Can't really get anything done while sitting on the chair. Much better weather now. And Drybone is a location that we have attuned to. Yes, by the graveyard, I remember. Before we go, we did receive a bunch of tickets to teleport back here to Vesper. As I recall, these were added in as part of streamlining the Realm Reborn quests for any new players. That is, added in at a later point in time. A few expansions from now. That's because, as you can see, there is no aetheryte in this area, despite it being the supposed base of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I guess that makes it less conspicuous, but very inconvenient for any players coming back here. There are a few tricks to getting back here faster if you don't have the tickets. One of them being using this port to Limsa. As I've had it explained to me, you can teleport to Limsa, then teleport to this aetheryte shard, or aethernet shard, and then pay a porter over here to take the boat directly to these docks. And that would supposedly be the fastest way, even assuming if you had a mount and teleported to Horizon and ran over here as quick as you could. But we have these tickets now, and I assume that should cover most of the times we find ourselves wanting to come back here. Wow, what a look on this one. That's actually quite stunning. Are those flowers? I see, they're like leopard spots. Colored white to make them look like flowers. Interesting. Even from a distance, stands out. Good choice. Hi, I'm Missing Board. Here to search for the missing folk, I take it. NVIDIA sent word that an adventurer fitting your description would be along. She also warned us to be wary of the Amalja. Seems we know who the culprits are at the very least. Now I bear no official title at this camp, but the people here have come to look to me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victims safely returned. Let us get right to it then. NVIDIA names the Amalja culprits in all this. You would do well to investigate them first. Much harm has been levied on these lands by the Amalja hands. The flames burn where they might, but their light cannot stay the darkness in all places at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the church of Saint Adama Ladama, innocents wishing no more than to pay their respects to the dead. The poor souls deserve a proper burial. I would see to the deed before the mongrels can catch their scent, but I know not if the Amalja still linger. Would you secure their remains for me, friend? You will find them on the eastern road. 12 willing, you may even come to learn something of what the Amalja seek in this area. Switching back and forth between my tank and mage class, I'm realizing that I wish I had the other outfit for the brand new adventurer for the tank set. You would have to go through the training as the tank to get that specific set, but unfortunately that training is locked behind progressing some of the actual side quest for the gladiator class. So I'll have to stick with the default clothing until I find something else to wear on that. But really I plan on staying as the Thaumaturge or Black Mage throughout most of this questline, or throughout most of A Realm Reborn, so I'll really only be collecting experience on Gladiator for a later point in time. Our first instance, I think, of a danger area. I don't really know the name for it. Just an area that you step into and fight some enemies. That seems probably quite heavy. This poor soul appears to have been ravaged by an Amalja before sitting to rot for several turns of the sun. We could jump down, but I'm in a kind of RP mood, so I'll take the ramp. This way you see a little bit more of the scenery, I think. When I was playing through on my first character, I just beelined it from one quest to another, shortest route possible, never really taking in every building I could see around me. It is good to see you returned. Were you able to secure the remains of our fallen? With the bodies given back to the proper to the earth, the souls will find their way across to the other side. You have done a noble deed this day. I thank you. Now then, what of the Amalja? Did you see any? Surely such a massive monstrosities as they cannot conceal their presence, much less take their quarry unawares. Ah, so there were Amalja remaining after all. I feared as much. Their part in the lowborn disappearing is all but confirmed, but I sense there is more to this than meets the eye. The occasional Amalja raiding party would not account for people going missing in these kinds of numbers. The total is too great, and the questions too many. It would not surprise me in the least to learn of another hand in this. But whose? Countless travelers pass through Drybone every day. And even if it were one among them, how would we best discover who may be implicit in these vanishings? Let's say we turn an eye to the common folk themselves. It may be among them that we find the reasons for these vanishings. 12 forbid it be so. There is a merchant by the name of Ungust, who was born here in Drybone and grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he knows the people here better than anyone else. I'd wager he's at the inn, coughing away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write you a note for you to show him, else he's not like to speak to you. The building over there is the inn, just kind of built into the wall. Chomp's Habanero. Spicy. Maybe that's what made the fur all pink. What do they sell here? I think I'll be fine without meals. Although I do have all this money. I suppose we could take some spell-specific meals. Although spell speed might not be very good for a black mage. Or actually, is it very important on a black mage? I wouldn't know. Well, gods be damned. You're that bloody adventurer who threatened me back in Ul'dah. Oh, the man we bullied. Let's do it again. What in the seven hells do you want with me now? Dear friend, missing people, please help. Yours, Isambard. Folk around here are as wary as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you so much as pass wind nearby. Played them all for fools and coaxed some hard labor out of them, I did. If anything, they're even more timid than before, or with all the disappearances. You can go talk to them yourself if you don't believe me. But please, miss, just leave me be. I have nothing to say but this. I'll take who, or whatever has been feeding on us low folk. The more I look around, the more I appreciate the architecture of a hole built into the ground. Maybe it's because my perspective is lower than usual as a Lalafell. Well, what do you want from me? I don't know anything, I swear. Please, don't kill me. Alright, wise guy, you proved your point. Just as I told you, wasn't it? A whole lot of them are terrified. There's been talk of folk getting abducted, but if you ask me, they simply up and moved on to a better place. This place isn't exactly Costa del Sol, if you know what I'm trying to say. Welcome back, Homori. Have you learned aught of import? I see. I suppose I should have expected as much from Ungust. Well, another thought occurred to me in your absence. The common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious beliefs. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, then the clergy may know something of use. Right. I suppose that's not obstructive. We can ignore that, I suppose. Of course, there is always this option. I knew it existed, but I was just ignoring it. Some part of me wants to display any headgear that I'm wearing, as in needing to take in the appearance of an equipment in order to receive the benefit of its stats. That goes against the idea of glamours, of course, but well, it doesn't matter. If we would know what the common folk speak of to their gods, we've no better place to ask than at the church of Saint Adama Landama. It is a small and humble church found to the northwest of here. And so long as you are headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse? A morbid request, I grant you, but it must be borne to the burial, and I trust none more than you to see it done. Seek out a man named Marquez. He tends to the graves of the lich yard. He will tell you where the body is to be interred. Marquez. Those NPCs fight the mobs. I thought they just stood at places and made them look good. I guess they actually fight things. Thousands of hours in this game. Still something to learn. Though I am not qualified to assist with the rites, I offer what assistance I can to the priests. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just getting in the way, though. Never has man sought to better his life, all too often at the expense of his brother. That desire and hope can beget suffering and death. That desire and hope can beget suffering and death is a regrettable yet undeniable truth. Rest in peace, dear uncle. Technically a cousin twice removed, but who's counting? We're too busy dividing up that estate of yours. I am Marquez, yes. A body? Of course. There There have been so many bodies of late. I apologize, miss. If you seek a place of burial, and there is an empty grave atop the ridge, take the path and lay him to rest there. Bury him well and give his soul peace. Then we will talk. This thing's pitter-patter is quite loud. At least, when the camera is next to it, it is. I just switched to it, but maybe I'll find another minion soon. Not a bad view. I don't think it's been in any of my videos yet, but I would like to see that light up the night at some point, that big mass of corrupted crystals. Well, I'm sure we'll see it sometime. Oh, I wasn't done with the corpse. Komori is easily distracted. May they all walk in Thal's realm. What? Missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help you. But maybe Sister Orksen can. She has been kind to me. Everyone has been so kind. I don't know why, though. Pardon me. You will find Sister Orson within the church walls. It's all wrong. I should have... So many tragedies have befallen us in recent years. The calamity, the primals. Alas, it is only within our power to shepherd the souls of the fallen, and pray that they find peace within Thal's realm. Speaking of Thal, I made Thal Komori's patron, just based on where we were starting, Thal being prominent. And knowing what I know now, Azema's earring is the thing that's guiding us through all the way up to level 90, giving us a bunch of EXP for free. Perhaps she should have been the proper patron. I'm not sure that's something you can change at any point, but that's neither here nor there. I hear you've done us the service of burying a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude and extend it to Isambard when you next see him. You seek the knowledge of missing Drybone inhabitants? It's true, I am closer to the people than any other of the Order. I confide in them, and they in me. When they wish to speak to their keeper, Thal, I am the medium through which they do so. Should I learn anything pertinent, I will be sure to share that information with you. I only wish Marquez would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars run deep. Indeed, he seems to now prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the Church. I received word not long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man named Thancred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. I must have words with Marquez Sen soon. Please extend my gratitude to Isambard on behalf of the Order. I've gone this way again. Thank you, Komori. A burial is no easy thing, even when the departed is a stranger. Were you able to learn aught of the missing common folk? You've been keeping yourself rather busy of late, haven't you, Komori? A pleasure, my dear Isambard. The name is Thancred, and I share a passion with you. And our mutual friend here for learning what has become of these missing persons, and why. I too spoke with Ungust, more times than I care to count. There seems to be some truth to this notion of the common folk speaking their secrets only to those in service to the gods. Prostration, prayer, penance, abject deeds done behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. Who better to take the pious unawares than she who takes confession, the good sister Orson herself? Orson? She wouldn't. She couldn't. Even the most beautiful roses have thorns, my friend. And you would be wise to keep an eye to this rose. Still, the Lich Keeper Marquez. I'd swear to the 12 I'd seen that face elsewhere before. We don't really need the money, but I also don't want these cluttering up my armory box. Where is this anyway? I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Sister Orson, it cannot be, though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own, and it is not uncommon to see her speaking to the children, but no, it could not be she, could it? I grow weary of these suspicions. I know there is one child in particular that she is fond of. Pray seek out the boy, Komori, and see if you cannot glean something from him about Orson's activities. Where did Thancred go? Golden Bazaar. A corner of the map I'm unfamiliar with. We'll follow the road over that way, as much as we can. Since we'll be doing some walking, I think I'll take out this guy. Well, I tried to follow the path, and I failed. Then I was meant to use this exit. Just for reference. I'm sure I'll be coming back here soon enough, but... I quite like the look of this brand new adventurer outfit. You can't dye it, but I think the grey works nicely with a black mage class. It probably looks good with most classes, it's a very neutral color. But it does seem very magey, long and flowy like a robe. Strange guy. I didn't acknowledge it, but there it is. I suppose we might have taken the chocobo porter over here. Let's see. You. Are you the NPC that tells me about this place? You haven't seen a pickaxe lying around here, have you? My oaf of a husband was out drinking with his friends and... Oh, I'll take that bloody pickaxe. Should have married a merchant. There must be someone, but I'm not going to speak to every NPC that I can find. I guess we'll try one more. The Golden Bazaar is on the verge of unprecedented growth, thanks to the Mithril deposit. Mark my words, adventurer, there's billions in it. Billions. I don't think that was the right NPC, but that at least gave us some idea of what's going on here. A mining area. Please help. Sister Orson went out all on her own and hasn't come back. She always reads to me right here, about Thal and the Order, and the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing, and she went looking for it. But what if the monsters outside hurt her? Please, find her. Well, It looks like the monsters found her. I'm a little bit ambivalent about how these give away that you're going to get into a fight. But there's, I suppose, a kind of compliance issue, where this game is designed around giving players a heads up on anything that might be happening in world. You are the one from the church. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. It seems my gratitude is yours yet again. You spoke with the child? Yes, well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It is a ring given to him by his mother before she passed. I will see it safely back to him. Yeah, I don't think it's her. We can swing by this way. Zombies. Well, if something takes us this way, I guess we'll learn more about the invisible city. Again, I have all this money, and I guess I could teleport right to the camp. But I won't. There's a mount. Sister Orson was attacked outside the Golden Bazaar. Gods forfend. I will secure a room at the inn for her, should she require any rest. Searching for the mementos of orphans, and risking her own well-being in the doing, no less. Certainly not the dastardly deeds Thancred would have us believe. Our class here was 20, so we'll start accepting quests as that when we reach level 20 quests. I am well glad I reserved that inn room for Sister Orson. It seems she received greater injuries from her attackers than she initially let on. Thankfully, she is expected to make a full recovery. But now on to matters at hand. Thancred came looking for you once more. We left word that he will be waiting at the Amalja encampment to the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. The camp lies on the road between the Black Shroud and Ul'dah. You'll find several places of note nearby. I suppose the two most well-known are the Amalja encampment, where the lizardmen nest, and the Church of Saint Adama Landama, where thaumaturges tend... Oh. where thaumaturges tend the dead and worshipped all. Now you know why there are so many immortal flames and corpses about. The former keep the Amalja in check, and the latter are bound to be given back to the earth. I realize that's just his default dialogue because we had talking to him before, as the NPC that tells about this area. I'd forgotten he actually told us all that before. What is this building? Something for the flames. Well, if you insist. I'm at least somewhat interested in finding out what all these buildings are. Did he not say that this was an inn? It really seems like only a bar. Just this one room. What about this building? Can you tell me what it is? An adventurer, lass. You've got that look about you. Need help finding your way. Now this is the exact thing that I've been trying to find in every other town. In almost every town in this game, even in the most recent expansions, there's an NPC that you can ask what you do here and what this place is. What kind of place is Drybone? 'Tis a peaceful place for the most part. A lot of folk as perished in the calamity are interred here. No room left in the city, you see. And their loved ones come to pay their respects. Of course, people also come bearing the bodies of the recently deceased. So the church always has its hands full, attending to everyone's needs. What do you do here? After me wife was laid to rest in the lich yard nigh on 10 summers ago, I started spending more time here. I wanted to stay close to her, you know? One day I started helping out with the funeral rites. One rite led to another, and I ended up doing it for a living. This bomb, it's a real attention hog. Just goes to show you never know what the fates have in store, huh? I like to think my wife's proud of the work I do. In this place, some kind of merchant. Eternal sleep. I guess this would be the inn. How many people have walked in here? Do any side quests take you here? A place like this has had the care and attention to have the architecture of a kitchen, several beds, a front desk, NPCs. This does not concern you. These that are grieve in peace. Well, that was a fun excursion. Before we continue with the conspiracy of the Amalja, now is a good time to take a break. Normally that emote makes you lie down on the bed. Not this time.